WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
put on your uniform right,
Expert Action Badge.
show up to work on time,
Expert Action Badge.
qualify on your weapon,
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right, just doing your noble warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Action Badge.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Oh yeah! Bring 'em awesome! Yeah! Broadcasting live from the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence. I'm your host, and of course, in the gunner seat, I got the incredible Spanky.
Hey y'all, it's me
Man.
for real this time.
For reals!
For real.
Man, oh, welcome to Sergeant's Time, WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments, broadcasting on this 3 November, deep within the mountain complex, or somewhere in the basement of the Pentagon, or in the tunnel in Area 51, or maybe just at the visitor's booth at the Alamo.
Surface of the sun.
The surface of the sun, son. Oh man. So, whoop whoop. What a week. Actually, would have been it was pretty week. It was a pretty news intense week. I know me and you were talking back and forth about social media and how the Army is changing the face of how our leaders interact with the with the force, with the formations. I'm like, oh man, here we go.
They're still trying to figure this out. How long has Facebook and Twitter been a thing?
They've been trying to Matt Damien this whole freaking Matt Damon. They've been trying to work it out. I don't know. It's,
you know what? I can write the Army social media policy right now.
Go for it. What is it? What would you do?
Do not say anything that you would not say in front of your mom, your God, and your boss. Simple as that.
It's kind of like the respect thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's that simple.
It's kind of, I'm just saying, a little bit of respect thing that people don't having a hard time. It's like, or to quote Mike Tyson said, the internet, what makes people brave. That, well, you want to, hey, what was that quote? I don't want to fuck up that quote. Saying something about what you would say on social media. People, you know, but hang on, I'm fucking this up. Mike Tyson social media quote. Hang on, because it's a good quote. Quote.
I know which one you're talking about too.
About the punched in the face. Everyone's got a plan to punch the face. No, there's another one about. He said about social media. It was freaking hilarious. He's basically
social media made you all way too comfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What was? That's what he said.
Yeah. He said social media. Exactly that. He tweeted it out. He said social media made you all way too comfortable with disrespecting people, and not getting punched in the face for it. And that right there, I swear, dude. I'll be honest with my first experiences as a host and admin on WTF Moments and WTF Nation. I could not believe the audacity of some of the individuals that would fly into my DMs or say some shit because shoot up and just like totally completely, you need to shut the fuck up and blah blah. And I'm like, Chile, hombre, mira, if you had met, I like to fight. You know my rep, Spanky.
Like, why is my name Spanky?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, we like. I mean, I'm just saying, we know each other pretty good. We like to box. We will get in your face. Yeah. And I couldn't believe some of the shit that was coming out. And that's right. The same thing with the social media army policy is that everybody knows that you are, for instance, like if I was active still and I was in the army, I didn't have a Facebook account until like towards the waning years of my career, until the end, right?
And I was the opposite. Go on.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but I would, even if I did have a social media account then, and even you as well, you'd show some respect. You'd be like, hey, what's up? Hey, we'll say sorry, right? Hey, cool.
And I was the kind of leader that my soldiers were allowed on my Facebook. My battalion commander was on my Facebook. Current ones, like at that time.
Right.
Because again, I'm not like, I will mean the shit out of you, but it's not like something that I wouldn't say at the front of formation.
Right, exactly. Oh my, Doc Dredd, I'll fight you. Bro, man, we've been through that path before. Hammers or no hammers? Just kidding. In our underwear or without shit. In our underwear, I don't mean, oh man, this, I don't like bringing up streets. I don't like bringing up, kings don't kiss and tell. I don't like talking about, some of the good old days of some of the stuff. It is just freaking hilarious. But you're right. It's really easy. Hatchet and thongs. There we go. I don't skip leg day. Yeah, I don't skip leg day. So there you go. Exactly. But you're right. It's really funny that how for some reason something as simple as this, greased and oiled up, right, Doc Red, that we are able to we're able to fly helicopters. We're able to drive tanks. We're able to deliver steel on target through our artillerists. We're able to hack into enemy networks that we know of. I'm Pickle Rick. That's right. And you know what? We for some reason can't fucking do social media. We cannot. It's literally fucking hard. It's hard to use social media as a weapon against our adversaries, but yet the fellas, you guys know about the fellas, right? The North Atlantic Fellas Organization. These are the guys, little cartoon dogs that look like the Doge dogs. And they are fucking trolling Ivan so bad that they're freaking the hell out. We can't. It would have taken 5 pages of a fucking con op. It would have taken authorities. Mm-hmm. It had been permission, and then there would have been somebody. It would have gone through all the fucking staff and wickets of the fucking of whatever we needed to do for our influence. And the next thing you know, by the time the war in Ukraine, or if we become nuked, would be over by the time we would try some of that fucking trolling shit. We just can't fucking do it. We just can't.
No, we can. We absolutely can. We just like.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We just get.
We can't. You're right.
Paperwork and con opt and red tape all to death.
Right. Exactly.
And then you get a general that'll just they'll try to slam you for sticking up for female soldiers.
I remember when I was still in. And everybody knew that I was. Now they know that I'm a retired PSYOP sergeant.
Right.
And I remember me and you going back and forth, and you're like, "Why are you so frustrated about some shit?" And I remember going back. There was one specific instance where I told you that, and you said this: "Jesus fucking Christ, are you gonna have the S4 sign for it too?" Because there was an approval process that was so fucking bad that it was unfucking real. And of course, there's gonna be that one person, and it's usually a PAO. I'm be digging on PAOs right now. I'm going to dig on PAOs.
I like 3 of them in the entire army. So
Morty, fuck PAOs, Morty. All they do is get in your shit and don't mind their fucking business, Morty. Anyways, so they freaking, it was just so frustrated. And the thing is that now we have gotten to the point where we've picked pepper out of fly shit so bad to where our social media, and I guarantee I'll say this. I like saying this because it's funny. It's the cabal of PAOs. The cabal of PAOs that got together in the Department of Defense and say, we don't like the way everyone's outdoing us and telling the Army story or telling the Air Force, Marine, or Navy, or Coast Guard story. That's really what it is. It's some fucking hate. I hate you. I don't even know who the fuck you are, but I hate you because I'm a PAO. Flash is gonna fucking DM me in a minute because I'm shit.
He's gonna burn the station.
No, but you know what? Flash even is frustrated. He's like, I remember me and him talking a while back, and he even said that some of the frustrations of us telling our story, the Army story, it's because we restrict ourselves so bad, and literally it's for some reason we cannot we just can't fucking do it. We literally are like, it's like 2 left feet. Name whatever euphemism you want to use for just being clumsy and dorky about it.
That and just look at some of the crap that has come out from like our official social media accounts, like pictures that they use. Like they go find a stock photo off of Divas or wherever they store all these photos, and it has either nothing to do with the picture, or they say like an Abrams and it's a freaking striker in the picture, so they can't even get the simple shit right. And we want them to write a policy.
Exactly. They're about to say,
they put an apple on there. Happy Thanksgiving. Here's my pumpkin. That's what their fucking posts look like.
No, or they put like the wrong aircraft. Like they want to celebrate that. Like they want to celebrate like for instance, happy birthday armor. And of course they put a howitzer, an M109 Paladin howitzer on there. Or
you get Happy Columbus Day. Let's look. Thanks for that one.
Oh my God, I know. It was a Happy Columbus Day, Happy Indigenous Day at the same time.
Yes.
And it was like they were trying to be like,
let's thank our people that welcomed us over. Like what the fuck?
Like, we just had Native Americans.
In the last like 50 years, we haven't said shit.
We haven't said shit about that stuff. The military has, and just some things that just the military just can't. We can't. You don't have to fucking talk about. Like if you see a holiday happening, I remember back in the day we always saw. I mean, me and you talked about this as well. It was always 4th of July, New Year's, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, and that is the fuck it. That's the only thing we've ever talked about. We never talked about the what was the Happy Veterans Day? Yeah, and it's a picture of a German shoulder. Remember that? Yeah, exactly that. Or soldiers marching, or Veterans Day, Memorial Day. It's I'm sorry. Let me take that back. So it's always been New Year's. It's always been. I mean, this is back in the day. I'm not talking about now, because now it seems like we all want to throw some sort of acknowledgement to something, just to generate whatever. But I have yet to see any Army publication or any Army social media account discuss a story, like going back into the day with storytelling and stuff like that. What's that? The aluminum shell that the Paladin sits on and maybe can stop a brick. It's armored kind of. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, dude, it was New Year's. It was Easter. It was 4th of July. It was what's after that? It was Halloween, and then it was freaking Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and that's it. That was the only freaking and Happy Memorial Day. You don't fucking say Happy Memorial Day. And then Veterans Day, of course. You got to throw in Veterans Day. It's individuals don't understand the meaning. So the military services themselves, specifically the Army, though, they just don't. Happy Memorial Day, bro. Memorial Day is not something to be. You're not supposed to be fucking happy about that. You're supposed to be, memorializing. It's that type of shit. Veterans Day, Happy Veterans Day for those that have served. That's where you throw in the Happy Veterans Day stuff. But Jesus, man. So the social media policy happened, I think, and this is just me. I don't have my tinfoil here right now. Hang on. Do I got some tinfoil? Hang on. Do I got some tinfoil right now to talk about of why the Army social media policy went out, or actually the DODI came out, is due to the fact that I think all the drama that happened with General Donahoe. That's just me.
Right.
That's just me.
I don't think they like being shown up, and like you made a policy, he was in line with the policy, you just didn't like what he said, and I don't think they like that he was right, maybe, against one of our, oh my gosh, our beloved Fox News that we have that is shown on every TV everywhere, except for in the kids area at the TMC, because then they'll play cartoons. So I would usually sit with them because I don't want to hear Fox News blasting in my face like 24/7. But I think that, to be honest, is probably why. I wouldn't be surprised if frickin' Tucker cried to some other general on top of him or whatever.
On top of him?
You know what I mean?
Are you saying Tucker Carlson's a bottom feeder? As a bottom? I don't know that he's a bottom. So we're talking about the policy that was released, the ALRAC. That was issued. In addition to providing more training to social media managers, the policy will also require greater transparency when the content is removed. That, I think, is pretty cool. They even quoted me in there, Spanky. Did you see that?
Yes, I absolutely seemed like I know that guy.
I was like, they quoted the ISIS. I don't want to say ISIS because then it sounds like I'm saying ISIS. They quoteth the Ken. They even quoteth me. I was like, wait a minute, and I was like, I all I did was just disseminate. All I did was just put out this Alarak that talked about, freaking what happened with the, whatchamajubes, whatever, because whatchamajubes, whatever. Can I say that? I don't know. A lot of things people like talking about, whatever.
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay. The whatchamacallit. And so, well, I'll tell you what. Let me just open up the article right here, so that way you all can see it, because then you'll see, I'm putting truth to paper here, or putting truth to electrons here. By the way, we got a guest coming on too. You know that?
Oh yes, we didn't even get to that.
We didn't even get to talk about the guest. At 9:00, we have Craig Douglas from Contact CI. We're going to be talking about haptics, artificial intelligence, and simulations. Dude, it's going to be. I like geeky shit like that. So that's going to be pretty badass. And so, oh shit, here I got my freaking all the screens. Anyways. Apparently, I've never lived in a tank. For
I'm sorry. This is my bad. I had to go back and forth with Keith in the comments.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we were kind of having two different things going up. But yes,
just charge the PAOs $8 a month. That's what Pookie says. Yep. So on Monday on Halloween, hey, what'd you think of my setup on Halloween, man? Did you see that? My Darth Vader gig?
I did get to see it.
Bro, that was the most hottest, and I'm not talking about like, ooh, Lord, ice is hot. I'm talking about hot as in temperature. I was sweating my ass off wearing that thing because I was out and about and showing the being handing out candy and being Dad Vader and then I had to do the show, and then afterwards it was like hey, you want to go hang out and get in costume, and I was like, man, so I think I lost like 15 pounds that night because it was so freaking hot and I was sweating my ass off. Had to wipe all the gear down because I was just sweating. It was just like, ugh. But anyways, it was fun.
So you just pooled in your own sweat while you were broadcasting.
Yeah, I was just pooling.
Marinating.
Yeah, I was just marinating and all that funk. I was doing all day. I was cleaning that armor up. But yeah, so I was Darth Vader. I was Fat Vader. After he took the helmet off. But going back to what I was saying, the new rules. So it's I'm not gonna read like PowerPoint slide shit to you. But if you look right there, my sign on or my @ on the Twitters is the IO guy, which means the information operations guy. And as I put, I am the named Grand Admiral of Propaganda because I am a Grand Admiral Thrawn fan, so that's how I did the name. Anyways, and so wait a minute. Did you know you got to take your rank and name off now on these social media accounts? You have to have 2 types of accounts now. You have to have personal, and then you have to have an official account. So like the official account is the position, and then the other account is not, is your own personal. And so I guess I got to take my rank off. So I can't be the Grand Admiral of Propaganda now. I can just be, do I have to put my real name on there now? I don't. The Imperial Security Bureau. I have to talk to them and see if my make sure that the real Darth Vader doesn't get on my shit. But anyways, so I said, here's a new social media guidance sent to the Force, and I said, man, you could put the genie you can put the genie back in the bottle, and this will only make it worse, and let this marinate. So I'm like, you cannot. Let's look at this, like more sign stuff. Anyways. You cannot, and then somebody else tweeted too from the Army War College, retweeted my stuff, which I appreciate it.
You're speaking or spitting facts on Twitter.
What was it? What was it? Jay Reese said, "God damn, man, you're dropping facts and spitting fire," is what he used to say. I can't imitate his, I can't imitate his voice because
You can imitate like everybody's voice except for Jay.
He's because goddamn, man, his voice has a different inflection to it. But I could try a voice like that. But so a DoD personnel may not use their official position or public office for private gain for endorsement or any product or service enterprise or private gains of friends, relatives, or other acquaintance. This is what the policy said. Lordy. Can we just like
but the part that gets me is their social media handbook is there's a variety of resources for troops and their families to safely and appropriately use online sites. The only thing like families really need to be told is, hey, don't post like when people are leaving and shit like that. You know, the normal, real OPSEC stuff. Not like, oh, my husband might go to Kuwait in 17 years, but you know, that's not OPSEC. They do tell like exactly what is OPSEC. You know, they brief that. That is the only thing families need to know. They don't need to worry about. They can tell the Army, like, y'all are a bag of balls and y'all suck and there's nothing we can do about it. That's the part that I really got. Like, why are you trying to tell my family how to like act on social media?
Bag of balls.
My daughter will dox y'all.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you know, speaking of which, I can talk about the fact that maybe that's what the Army needs, is to be told they're a bag of balls in some things. And I just like, I get frustrated to see that the fact that it just makes it seem like, and again, I don't want to sound like, and I know you guys in the chats are making some good comments about PAOs. Maybe it's that, like I said, the cabal of PAOs. Maybe it's the PAOs that want to get all that power, because that just seems like now it's giving individuals the power to sit there and say your shit's not in accordance with the DODI and blah blah blah. Because now if anybody wants to talk to I don't know, it just seems like it restricts it enough. If a commander can't be authentic and be him, everybody knows where he fucking works, right? It's if he puts it in his bio. So like take General Beagle for instance. Everybody knows General Beagle, right? And he posed, former commander of 10th Mountain Division. Yeah, everybody knows General Beagle. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows that he's the commander of Fort Leavenworth, the command general staff college. The CAC. Everybody knows who he is. So when he changed his name to just be Beagle, just dropping the rank and all that, I still know who he is. I still know. Right. I'm still going to address him as sir. I'm still going to address him as.
They are so worried about the wrong things.
I know, dude. They are worried about this shit. They were worried on the wrong shit. You guys,
it's the PAOs that are trying to like keep their jobs. I think that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just sexy.
But if he actually tweets himself, I don't have a job. No, we don't need you.
If he tweets himself, so if General Beagle, just like General Donahoe, tweets, hey guys, check this out, blah, 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 blah. We all know he's the commander of Fort Benning. We all know he's the commander of the 10th Mountain Division. We all know, you know what I mean? We all know who they are. This is almost kind of like giving the individuals excuses to be like, oh, I didn't know he was a division commander. Because here's what the issue is going to be. It's like if you're Joe and you're on social media and you are on, of course, you're a specialist or a buck sergeant or you're a staff sergeant, and you go off and you're like, who's this Beagle guy? Or who's this Donahoe guy? Or who's name your general officers here. Who's this General Smith? Who is she? Who are these generals? Blah 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 blah. Well, if I'm just talking to General Tammy Smith when she was still in, and I was just like, hey, what's up, dude? Hey, man, check this out, ma'am. What's going on with you? It's just like speaking on the common term. You know what I mean? It's like speaking on, I don't know, speaking on the street level. That's wrong. That is a general when they get to be general. As much as you fucking hate it, as much as you don't like that individual who got promoted to that position and rank, that's their rank. That's their respected rank. I just don't get the fact that we, like you said, we made something bigger than what it was by doing this DODI. And then of course, the Army is really going to overdo it because, the DOD could do a publication or a policy or an instruction and the Army will fuck it up. They will just,
they'll take a year to fuck it up, put everything on hold.
Well, not only that, but not only will they fuck it up, but they fuck it up and like it. It's almost like they're literally building, or they're fucking up the airplane in flight. You know what I mean? It's they're not waiting for the aircraft to get finished, being tested and all that. No, the Army, no.
Let's just start it. I'll put gas.
Let's just start. You'll just start. Yeah, fuck it. Well, it's like the beard thing. It's just like the beards. It's just like how do I say this? It's just like how they do other policies. They're pretty quick to jump on that. They're pretty quick. Everyone likes to, OPSEC. OPSEC. Is it really fucking OPSEC? Is it really fucking OPSEC to fucking know that we have soldiers in fucking Ukraine? Hey, guess what? Yeah. Or we have soldiers in Europe? Guess the fuck what? You know what happened? We used to have 2 permanently stationed divisions and a corps headquarters there to include separate brigades and an airborne task force still there. But back in the day, everyone acts like it's fucking new. Everyone acts like, oh, well.
Right. Oh my God!
Oh,
Lord, in Texas.
Lord Hammersey. Lord Hammersey. It's just, again, it's just like it's as soon as that DODI came out, you know what the DODI could say, which probably has said, I have to dig it up, when it comes to taking leave, that you don't need to have additional leave requirements done. All you need is an LES, and all you need is your DA Form 31. And I guarantee it.
You don't even need an LES. You only need your DA 31.
And you know what? And Spanky, we know what happened. The Army, we get inundated. We get inundated in the inbox, the same shit. We have a 3-page checklist for someone to go on fucking leave, even though we're not required to have it. There'll be some leader that says, well, I need to know if they're good on MIPROs before they go. Well, they're on fucking leave. Let them go. You know what I mean? You can't stop them from going on leave.
And I do think a lot of, and I don't want to get on a tangent about leave, but a lot of leaders forget that leave is not a privilege. It is a earned benefit. And they forget that so often.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how many times I've had to tell commanders, like, yes, a flag soldier can go on leave.
Right.
That is not a favorable action. It is an earned benefit. They've earned it.
Right.
That's why they will pay you if you don't use them. You know, it's like that simple.
Yeah. Well, again, policy even changed out. We've even had general officers come out and say, you don't need nothing but a leave form. And still, we still have, why is it that the generals are the ones that seem to have more common sense than the brigade commanders or the battalion commanders? Right now, I'm hating on fucking majors and lieutenant colonels. Those are the ones right now, especially that lieutenant colonel that banned fleece jackets. And then the one that, the first sergeant that did not permit the use of an elevator. And also the, that major that had a Halloween party and kids, he says local national kids were dressed up like they were part of the KKK. So, yeah. I'm like, dude.
Like, I don't understand. Like,
you're right.
Had like the G1 say that fleece is an outer garment. It can be an undergarment, but it's an outer garment. That is why, and they even like the G1 even said that is why there is a place for your rank and shit on the outside.
Right, it's part of the EQUIC system, and that's another thing too. I was stationed in Germany, and it was, back in the day, my dearest Jessica, back when I was stationed in Germany, stationed in Germany, and we had a kid that showed up from the 10th Mountain Division, and he was part of the, and this was back in the 90s, he was part of the PAL, it was called a PALS, which is like the Polar Arctic, layered system or something like that. I think that's what it means. But
that big white thing.
He knew all about cold weather shit. And he didn't school. Somebody tried to correct him. He was a staff sergeant. Somebody tried to correct him and say, hey, Sergeant, you can't wear it like that. You can't wear it like this. And he's like, no, that's actually how you are supposed to wear it. You're not supposed to be wearing, when you're wearing the layering with the polypros and then the Gore-Tex jacket and then all that shit, you're not supposed to be wearing BDUs underneath it. That fucks up I'm guessing people don't read the comments. No audience interaction. I'm wrong. No, we're watching the comments because I'm about ready to slam everybody for shit talking about women in the military. I just have to finish up my notes there, Matthew. I see you. You're actually some of the comments and context to which I'm speaking of. I see you. You're not wrong. There is audience. No audience. Damn, dude. Damn, really? You gonna fucking come up in this chats like that? So this is no. Is it because we didn't respond to you, Matthew? Huh? Is that what it is?
There it is, Matthew. You've been responded to.
Exactly. There you go, Matthew. You have audience. Now you have audience interaction. Just break a balls, Matthew. That's what we're all about. But to it's a first timer here. Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Welcome.
Welcome. Well, welcome first time. You don't have to listen to us on the Facebook pages. You can also listen to us on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. If you don't like Facebook, but we get a lot of our interaction on fucking.
Yeah, I can't watch all the comments and all of them though. So I'm only watching you right here, Matthew.
Yeah.
You have my undivided attention.
As a matter of fact, Matthew, we got you, boo. We got you. But no, it just, for some reason, I just every time there's a new policy, I always laugh, because when I see a new policy come out, I always know that there's going to be some brigade commander or some battalion commander that's yeah, exactly. But I'm going to respond to you harder, Matthew. Matthew, come on, man. So much pleasure in my mouth, dude, when I respond to you.
No, but you're right. Like, the Army can come out with a policy, or the DOD can come out with a policy, and there's going to be that one lieutenant colonel is like, Okay, it says we all have to wear red. Let's all change this,
Right.
and we're all going to wear blue.
Right.
Because I don't believe that the frickin' DOD got this right. So me,
I'm
little
gonna make
lieutenant colonel down here,
Yep.
I'm going to change it everything.
Pew pew. Oh, there you go. The fucking cough third ID, man. That's what it is. It's the third ID. It's usually, I'll be honest with you, I think the biggest offenders of all this shit, from me and Spanky laughed. She's like, "What?" Remember, she's like, around one time you're busting me up about the First Armor Division. She's like, "I saw him First Armor," because I was. She's like, "What's up with your First Armor Division, Ken?" I'm like, "What? And he's like, so I'm like, "Dude, shut up." So yeah, First Armor Division, 2ID in Korea, and 3rd Infantry Division. They're usually the ones that are the prime. 82nd, not so much, because back at
Liberty.
Yeah, back at Liberty. Speaking of which, they've already. Remember, you were showing me
Yes.
Google Maps. They've already changed Fort Hood to Fort Cavazos.
Okay, Google Maps has not. Apple Maps has, and whatever Life 360 uses, they have.
Gotcha. Okay.
Google Maps has not yet. They're like,
There you
I'm
go.
going to check now just to see if there's been an update.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Well, I mean, I think that it should have been named Fort Benavides. So there you go. Yeah, minus 20 degrees out, PT shorts and T-shirts, because I don't like. Yeah, to go back on social media, we could fuck up a wet dream when it comes to social media. I'm fearing that there's going to be somebody out there that's going to tweet something, post something, or comment on something, and there's going to be some overzealous PAO and that's going to scare a commander into fucking to not do that. Hey, how come? Like for me, it'd be like, hey, how come Spanky or Ice? Who's that? Why is Private Ice in there just shit talking and blah 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 blah? Well, are you addressing him as Private Ice? Or are you addressing him as, Private Ramos? You know what I mean? Well, what are you or Ken Ramos? What are you gonna do? You are opening Pandora's box to where I could shit talk you on my personal account, and I could say, it's my personal account. I could say, this is what it is. And now if I addressed you as, Buck Sergeant or Private, then what? That whole legal thing, I wonder if legal. What if the judge is like pulling his hair out on this shit?
Oh, I think that they probably just drowned themselves in alcohol because of this.
I was about to say they probably do have some bourbon in their drawer, in their desk drawer and stuff. So, yeah, it's crazy, man.
I mean, I would if I worked in legal, especially with all these people.
Oh man, yeah. So it's I don't know, man. I once again think that we are overdoing it. We did this DODI, mind you, this is a Department of Defense instruction, has gone overboard with the way we're doing our social media engagements. If anything else, it's going to be killing the force on exactly what's going to be happening, because they their engagement's going to be down. People are going to wonder why we don't have soldiers enlisting anymore and all that stuff. Some of these little stupid shits. That's the reason why. I mean, everyone's like, it's such a big deal. Why are you guys whining? No, that's not the case. So fix it.
You know what? I'm sorry. Because I told you I'd get you an update. Google Maps has not changed, but you know what? How they, Apple Maps would change it from Hood to Cavazos already?
Yeah.
That's the only one that I've looked up so far. Like, they haven't changed Benning or Bragg or anything else. Like, they must really just hate Hood. That's okay.
They just, yeah.
Yes, it's still Bragg according to Apple Maps.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. What's that? Get your stomach ready for the cold. Chosen frozen. Yeah, dude.
Ugh.
Yeah, I just. Again, we totally dig this up. We as in the Department of Defense, in the military. Man, I don't want people to sit there and say, "Oh, you're sitting there shit talking the Army." I'm not shit talking the Army.
And with the sniffle gear thing, I'm like, and this has always been just a big, like, pet peeve of mine, especially during PT in the morning. It's like, I get that, there are just some people that uniformity is just the only thing that they can imagine. Like, they cannot imagine the fact that you could run, somebody in shorts and somebody in pants. They can't comprehend or wrap their head around it, that the Army will survive if you have soldiers, not wearing the exact same thing at PT.
I was about to say, didn't you lose a set of PT pants that one time you did PT and you were running and they told you, and you're like, you were so hot you dropped You dropped pants. You dropped trout, and freaking, you're like, hey, I gotta put my pants, and then you lost them. Didn't that happen?
No, that one wasn't. I didn't lose them, but I have. I'm like, I'm not like gonna burn up, and usually I'm the one that's cold, to be honest. Like, I'm like, no, why am I out here in shorts? I don't want to do nothing except for go home now. If you just let me wear my sweats, I'm like, okay, I'm fine now. Let's go. We'll go run 17 miles, and then maybe I'll want to take it off, maybe. But it was like, we have gotten past the common sense thing. At least it seems like most people have gotten over that. Oh, it's April and October. We have to wear this. No, we fucking don't. It's 80 fucking degrees. I don't need to wear sweats in October. Just.
Matthew's been talking. I'm gonna give you some love, Matthew. I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna say your name, Matthew. Get Matthew's name out your mouth. Anyways, he said there's a PII issue for possible cyber warfare. I don't know, man. We kind of like that boat sail. We have individuals that have now used TikTok so bad, and what's funny is that you could tell unless something has like, I don't know. You have a soldier that is getting their family member, shot in front of them. I don't think anybody cares.
I don't think so.
I don't think anybody gives a shit. I think you could say right now, your family's going to get tracked down. It's going to get hunted down. They're going to disappear when they're coming home from school. Yeah, but I got to do my TikToks. Even though everybody knows, even though everybody admits that TikTok is bad for you. That's right. The PT belt will keep you warm. Don't you know, man? Come on, man.
I forgot.
So it's frustrating, dude. It is. I shake my and everyone says, why are you guys posting this? Why are you guys? How come you all are posting this stuff? This is stupid. My favorite is, this page is going downhill. This page is not what it used to be. Man, you have no fucking idea what this page used to be. You freaking, some of you weren't even in the army by the time this page was created. So I'm just like, God, dude. And I just think that
that's even a better idea, Heather. Okay, so I found out from Heather in the chats that you can submit the request to Apple as a person to like have them change it. Like say, hey, it's not Fort Hood anymore. Now it's Fort Cavazos.
Oh, so yeah. Ooh, let's do that. Let's change Fort Bragg to Fort Gavin. Let's change Fort Benning to Fort Alwyn Cache. Let's change it to what we want. Let's change it.
Yes, I love that idea. Thank you, Heather. Sorry, Matthew. Heather's our favorite now.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we should do that. We should change the names of the posts because, currently right now, again, Fort Benning for, General Moore and his wife. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but I just think that Alwyn Cache would have been a better selection for it. And named it the Fort, the name of the General Sherman Maneuver Center of Excellence.
None of these people that they are renaming them to are bad.
Correct. It was better. They're just, these are better. Like, we should do that for Fort Hood. We should just change it to Fort Benavides and then see what happens. And then as a matter of fact, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and buy all the domain stuff for Fort Cavazos. I'm going to all these new names, and that way the Army has to pay me to get these domains from me.
Oh, have we done that yet?
No, I'm thinking about doing it. I think you guys, if you guys to go ahead and do that there. We have so many listeners now. We have 5 different platforms that we're streaming live, and they can all listen to us right now. So on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, 2 Facebook pages. We can go ahead and do it. Anyways, we're going to take a break while we get the guests ready. And then once that happens, then we'll be good to hook. So everyone, I'll see you in a second. And, shots. Take it from me, Ice.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Nothing feels the same. Let it all be I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
All right, we are back. Man, I'm excited. I am excited. We got a guest coming on. His name is. I'll just cut to the chase. Craig Douglas from the Contact CI Corporation. Real quick, I'll just. Let me show his shiny face right now. He's all happy to be here. So, what's going on, Craig?
Hello. How are we all living tonight? It's great to be here. Good to see
dude.
you, Ed.
Yeah, man. It's well, first off, thank you so much. This is the geeky. I know people are gonna probably fall asleep once we start going into the geeky stuff, but I like geeky stuff.
No. We can make it lively. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. This is the stuff I like seeing. I like talking about AI simulations, augmented reality, all this stuff. Have you read that Burn-In book?
Which one?
That Burn-In book. It talks about warfare, and it talks about.
I don't have. I'm not that one specifically. I'm not. So, who's the author of that one?
Well, first off, it's a series in artificial intelligence, and it's August Cole and P.W. Singer, and they're also the authors of Ghost Fleet, and it's pretty much augmented reality. The main character of the story uses augmented reality glasses, and it's just, as soon as I saw this come across the guest list, I was like, yeah. I need to talk about. I want to talk on this one. This is the most. I personally think that this is the most interesting topic, specifically for what you guys do. So, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, no, happy to. I'm Contact CI's co-founder and CEO. We're a startup that began in what I call the Oculus awakening period of consumer VR really coming back into the forefront of the space. Obviously, there was many who are going to be listening now familiar with the fact that in defense and simulation training technologies, there was a lot of things going on in the simulation world. I mean, NASA were one of the ones most would be kind of prominently aware, but there was also people on the consumer side early in the 90s that were, doing things like Disney and other corporations that were checking into it at that time. But, really while me and my co-founders, Tom Buchanan and Tim Meyer were undergrads at Syracuse University, we kind of really got committed to the fact that for spatial computing, or, the technologies we're talking about here of AR and VR being able to really become what they could as a computing platform, you needed to have your hands ability to reach out and tactilely be involved in that space, because that's how, since you come out of your mom's womb, right, when you're first born, the only sense that you have completely 100% developed is your tactile sense of touch. That's how you're first introduced to the world. That's how you first start understanding things. Think about when you're picking up a block and putting it into something as, you're trying to make the shapes fit, and you're learning how to, interact and make your hands work together. So we really wanted to make sure that was possible in the computing platforms that become spatial, if you would. So we've been working on that for the last 7 years. We been doing it every day, and joyfully and kind of dutifully excited about how the possibilities of what the frontier of tech is providing in terms of, the AI aspect of bringing it in, the whole simulation, extension of ourselves, and, what people are calling, of course, the metaverse right now, right? For the fun multiverse side of things. But even an extension of your hand into telerobotics aspects, and how do we, reach across the globe and use the hand of a robot to feel what's going on there, and all the aspects of what becomes functionally possible when, the human's hand is, not just limited to right here where you can reach inside your own wingspan, but, now an avatar's wingspan or a robot's wingspan.
So tell us, some of the terms that you've already thrown out there. Just that way the audience understands. It's haptics, and so can you get to the meaning of what haptics means?
Yeah, no, great question. So it derived originally from the Greek word that is basically haptics as well, And it's anything that really becomes the simulation of the sense of touch, right? If you think about display technologies, you can think about your screens or what we're seeing through on a 2D platform right now, or the glasses that you referenced, Ice, right? Now the haptics is the sense portion of the stack that is now coming into making sure that you can feel what you're doing in a digital way. So a way that a lot of people would be easily familiar with them today is right on your phone, right? Interacting through, when you tap there and go from that side of things, that vibration feedback is, an entry point into what is a type of haptics. But haptics have actually existed, as a technology stack since really early 1900s, even a little bit before that, when people were trying to send like electric shocks through the hands for therapy and through the arms and things from that standpoint. They go all the way up to things where you're having like an exoskeleton giving you full feedback to, restrain your arms and your muscles when you were trying to control some of the first robots in like GE in the 50s and things like that. But haptics, again, it's that simulation of touch in a digital way.
Now, how does it, I mean, the applications of this is astounding. It's just from the mere, the connection. Does your company do almost like some type of neurological connection to haptics, or is this just feeling on already existing sensor? I guess you'd say fingers, I mean, it's hard to...
No, that's a very fair question. And so there are people out there that are going a more neurological route than we are. Specifically at Case Western in Ohio, there's a lab that's doing some really great research that's trying to, map, neural pathways of what is happening, like electrical impulse, so that you can now add sense of touch to an amputee. That is not necessarily the route that we've gone ourselves so far. We're focused actually, our product actually is this guy right here. It's more of a wearable piece of technology. So as you mentioned, if you will think about like an existing sensor, we're trying to make it so that in a nuanced way, multiple data points giving you feedback onto your hand itself, so that you then are feeling what would be interacting on the other side of the like avatar's sensor picking up itself. It's more of a like leaning into like what is your neural pathway of expectation for an interaction, because if you don't have that tactile portion of it, you're going to have kind of phantom grasp, or you're going to go through something and not really have that same full kinetic connection that you would already like expect to have. But we're not tracking or sending the data out itself because of something that we're getting inside of your neuro signals itself. We're playing on like a psychology in the way that any type of hands-on learning would. We're just now doing it in a simulated object.
Now with that, then I remember reading some of the literature, and that you're going with was it you had a comment in there that said about Unity and Unreal SDKs make it a lot easier to do this. Can you explain to the audience what those terms mean when it comes to that? And while you're talking, I'll have your screen your website up to look at the.
Definitely. So many might be familiar that Unity or Unreal are kind of common game engines that are out there. But like a game engine, meaning the software platform that you're building content in, for, whether it's something that you're doing at, a console level game, a web, on your PC level game, on your mobile level game, that's an engine that would be able to like kind of control all the physics and what you're seeing and what's being built in the mechanics of the game that's happening. So one of the things that's missing inside of those engines right now, though, again, is how to, give an easy interface to add the haptics to each inner object that you're interacting with. So our SDK, meaning software development kit, is something that our team led by, John Schroeder and Zach Schroeder, who have been the main developers building that out over the years, enable other developers to now add the gloves into, their, if we're using an example of only game content, into their game. But the thing about a game engine like Unity and Unreal is that it is used for all types of 3D creation in terms of content. So there's lots of simulations that you probably have done yourself, whether it's from flight simulation to EMT training or to a number of things as a whole that might be coming into that you've seen in the VR space. That's been built out in Unity and Unreal, and the SDK makes it possible to now add the gloves in the haptics so that you're now interacting with that content hands-on.
Now the feedback, real quick now for the audience, it is legit the Unreal game engine that is for video gaming as well.
Yes. Yes, yeah, made by Epic Games, absolutely.
I worked with Epic Games in the past before. I'm a Gears of War fan, so you can't say anything wrong about Epic Games because I just love.
You can say a few things, but there's a lot of great and amazing things. At the end of the day,
right, exactly, yeah, exactly.
Plug, we got a mega grant, Epic Games mega grant from them at one point that helped us actually develop out the SDK. So I have many great things to say about them, but
yeah. There's some things they can and can't do, obviously because of their way they're doing it. But that brings up a good question. Was there any issue? And I hope I'm not asking too many proprietary stuff, but was there any issue from the Unreal system to use for? I mean, were they pretty involved in that? When you think about it.
I wouldn't say there was issues it's actually something they encourage, right? Like actually directly, in 2020 they did award us one of their Epic Games mega grants, which was to help further out some of the SDK development for AR interactions. It was we built out a welding training as like an example edge case on like the Magic Leap headset at that time. That was an AR interaction.
Right.
That was more, them providing funding, providing answers into their documentation, providing us, liaisons and people to talk to if we needed to. But really from like their stance as a company, they do want to enable peripherals to be interactive and do things like that. I mean, think about like how say like a Thrustmaster or like some of the other controls are in, like they're actively allowing that stuff. They don't want to block that from being able to make the interactions of their content better. So that's actually been really nice for us, is like the way that Unity and Unreal both have been receptive.
Now there's some comments in there already. The ultimate power, the real power glove, and then the other one is this right here for bomb disposal as well is that the EOD technicians can use this type of tech, without themselves endangering themselves.
I know, I love that comment. Actually, back at Syracuse University, one of my capstone thesis was around exactly that use case. Was the thought process of, even if you're at 99.9% accuracy, which driving up a 2-degree clamping freedom hand robot up to the space and picking up the bomb and being able to now control that through your joystick and shoot a laser through it or detach it that way. Being able to take a hands-on individual, give them their exact manipulative skill set, because they're getting an exotended feedback that's restricting your finger as you're gripping down onto the wire. You're getting a nuanced vibration that's letting you know, okay, it's moved in your hand. You've gotten that secondary set of feedback from like you maybe actually felt it detach or get loose or do as you're supposed to, specifically throughout the task. And so a lot of that is pairing the technologies of both the robotic hand having enough dexterity, enough sensors on it to be able to pick up what it's doing as well. But we're trying to build everything on our end of the stack side that is possible, that you are feeling that on when you're wearing the glove and interacting from it. So that's definitely one of the use cases that we're happily trying to enable and believe is possible for us to do today.
Now that brings up another question. I got another chat, but from that nobody can see. What about aircraft? Can you fly an aircraft instead of having a UAV pilot, but an actual aircraft? You can put this system into, say, an F-35. You put it into an F-35 and you can have an F-35 feel the aircraft. Have you guys gotten into that realm yet?
So not in terms of actively flying the craft. It is something that, again, on the training side, that's the main realm of work that we started doing with the Air Force directly, is thinking about from the flight simulator ecosystem, instead of building out, entire platform of switches, knobs, and joysticks, if you will, for being able to have all the different throttles for each individual cockpit, whether that's from a helicopter or another aircraft as a whole. Now, how can you be able to maybe just have a seat and a chair that's similar to like your at-home sim like that we have talked about, but being able to have the headset on and the gloves, being able to switch out, feel the switches and the dials and everything from there. The first airframe that we built out was an MC-12W, and being able to do more than 70 different switchology tasks inside of that cockpit, having them have, when you push down on the switch, what is the accurate or close to proper level of feedback or friction that you would need to really engage and push back and tell it that, okay, it's now pushed back that threshold that it should switch, right?
Right.
Or you're on a dial that has 5 millimeters apart, you should get a different click in the system, right? Telling you that's gone through, so you can give the vibration separately while still giving that pinch feedback from the exotendon. Being able to do those types of things, that is something that we, maybe if things get truly nuanced enough in the long-term future, you get to a point where you can control the aircraft. That's not something I'm necessarily going out and pushing and
right.
Really trying to give you that first level of your hands-on kinesthetic knowledge from like what your own aircraft is going to be. For example, one piece of really great feedback we got when we were doing that, out on base in Oklahoma City, we had a pilot sitting, in headset, wearing the gloves, doing the switches, and direct quote from him was, "This is the first time I've actually felt like I'm in my plane, in my cockpit, while being in a simulation, rather than being like, okay, I'm just here with the instructor going through the process and doing it. Like how I'm actually in it, getting immersed, being able to flick myself while I do." It's actually from that exact, that's that, exact day and conversation that we're talking about right now.
Right.
Picking it up right there. So thinking about just literally that ability right there, where you don't have to have anything else physically there, but him actually being able to say, I really feel like I'm in my cockpit right now, and can go through those training tasks that would be, okay, what do I need to do for this sequence to lift off? Or what do I need to do for, this, what now let's take it from a pilot side to a maintenance standpoint, and some of the things that we're doing, like an engine run shutdown sequence. Like, what do I need to do to actually know all the switchology tasks, so I don't have to think about it when I go through and do it properly. And I don't have to have the cost of the aircraft to be there to physically do the learning myself.
That's incredible. So you literally had a pilot, like I showed earlier, just sitting in an easy chair, with the augmented reality glasses.
Yeah, with just one of these guys on.
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah. He just had that on.
Yeah, and this is all I needed.
Yeah. Now, do they come in a set? I mean, are they? Not like Nintendo back in the day, where just one glove, but do you have gloves, like double gloves and
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we call it Maestro as a glove right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where we sell them as a pair. Most of the times it's been delivered as almost a batch load for a whole classroom set of the groups that have been doing training. But there's different groups that we've been able to ship the gloves to individually if they want to be able to just test one pair or go from there. But and you mentioned Nintendo. The shout out to the comment earlier about the Power Glove. That's it's definitely a proud lineage that we feel to be in. Like, I kind of actually over my shoulder here have like a timeline of some of the kind of first peripherals, and this one right here is the timeline of the Power Glove, with some of the gloves that I feel like we fall in the exact lineage of. That was really something that was a data glove that was doing just tracking itself. We consider ourselves the flip side of the coin of now that, again, that tactile, that if your tracking is bringing in the dexterity, we're bringing in the how do you feel from that dexterity side of things. But it's we definitely want to make it possible that you have both hands fully in it, not just one, in the way that the Wizard did so bad, allowed you in the back in the Nintendo days.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just think it's fascinating. Now, it was the 137 Special Operations Wing out of the Will Rogers Air National Guard base in Oklahoma. And a matter of fact, I'll post. I mean, right there, I could see it right now. You could see straight up that the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center has totally endorsed this. They could not have said. I tried to reach out to them, but they didn't get back to me in time. But this is to them, like you said. You had a pilot that said, "Hey, this is my this is the best things." I feel like I'm in an aircraft. What other applications are you going to be able to do this? I mean, have you considered medicine? Have you considered construction? Have you considered hazardous duty work that would require a human, but you could do it remotely?
No, absolutely. You're spot on there. And I guess real quickly on the AFMLC group, a shout out and appreciate, all of their support they have. You're right. They've been very, excited in, their continued support and backing us. If you're going to be at IDSEC later this year down in Orlando, we'll be demoing on the Tuesday afternoon, showcasing Maestro and the MC-12 demo specifically in their booth there. So if you want to stop on by, I'd be more than happy to give you a hands-on experience at that time. If you happen to be in Orlando, what is that? Just November 29th and such.
Right.
But then on some of the other applications and things that we are looking at, one of the ways that we talk about here at our team is, John Schroeder, our CTO, he really kind of coined this internally of anything that has a high cost of material, a high cost of expense, a high cost of safety, or a high cost of kind of travel to do so, but is necessary to have a hands-on effect to really be something that you can learn. Those types of applications are things that we are focused on, like you mentioned, construction and medical. One of our early partners was Cincinnati Children's Hospital, where they had taken an application to prepare cardiosurgeons for something that they needed to do specifically case by case based on the pediatrics that their chest growth that had happened at that child's age, basically. And so they were doing like an on-screen CAD-based preparation to build, not to get into details that I'm not allowed to share, I guess, on that. But
I understand.
Basically let's say the pacemaker that they were like trying to build for each individual person, they're having to do that on screen with a mouse and a keyboard, and it was taking up to 20 hours, to do each individual one. This is, a technician, an engineer, and a surgeon all sitting there together doing it. When they went over to VR, they were able to, cut that in half even by being able to now spatially look at, okay, if I've got the scans of the unit, now I'm building the thing that I'm building, and how do I fit it into the way that I'm supposed to now be designing this specific edge case, if you will. And so now when we then introduced the tactile experience into that, they were again able to unlock more of, here would I actually be able to quickly be able to move things around, grasp and interact as I would naturally, rather than having that learning curve of, I don't know how to do things in a spatial way that doesn't have a tactile interface with it. So another thought process that's not from the medical, basically to sum that up is it cut the time, and even again another greater experience of almost half again being able to feel the fact that you're interacting with the object now, rather than if we're 200% more time to just be looking at it through keyboard and mouse, and out there POV with the eyes, now cutting it down another 50% by having your hands in the space. So that's
I got a question. I got another question. There is that biomolecular structuring. I don't even know. Are you guys? I guess there's been some pictures of how you see people using VR and AR to manipulate DNA strands and try to figure things out. Is that within the realm too? Or is that something that you guys are looking forward to on a further down the calendar, I guess you'd say?
No, one of the ways that we're trying to enable applications like that is through the Unity and Unreal SDK that you talked about earlier. Applications that have kind of already been developed know that they're are benefiting from being hands-on. We want to allow those development teams to actually be able to plug the gloves in themselves and not necessarily have to have us build it out the way that we have been working on, like the Air Force side, or with the Cincinnati Children's Hospital, or with NIST when we were doing some ENT, firefighter, and police trainings, things like that. We want to enable them to be able to plug it in and add it to that. And that's one of the kind of benefits of having SDKs like that is we don't want to block in, this is what is beneficial to have a VR training that is tactile, or a VR experience that is tactile in it as a whole. If the biomolecular DNA interaction is improved by not being a button through a controller, and we want to enable that. Absolutely, it's something that we're more than happy to kind of allow our technology to be able to plug into, if that's something that makes sense for the end user.
I figured as much. I know. This is like dream world stuff that I'm talking. I like speculating that stuff too, because it's to me it's fascinating, because I had a friend of mine ask me, what are you talking about tonight? And I said, hey, I'm talking about, one of them is that being the fact that you worked with US SOCOM in the special operations side of the house, are you going to be able to possibly use as an application for haptic feedback for shoot no shoot scenarios or room clearing, or have you guys thought about that type of application?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's definitely something that the gloves can be used within. There are certain times when specialized, direct, more weighted with the shoulder feedback, from the gun itself is necessary, right? But that NIST application I mentioned, in 2019, one of the things that was built in that grant research project was an application that was kind of a no shoot scenario for the police specifically. So going through a hostage situation where you're going through a parking garage, and is that, you know, the individual civilian that you're trying to find, or is that, you know, the perpetrator that you're going through, and are they in harm's way at that time?
Right.
The individuals that used, you know, our haptic device to interact rather than using the controller itself with just the trigger and going from there, experienced a 400% better success rate than what they were doing from the interaction. That was in a very, very small sample size, and like, you know, and that research that was done in 2019. But it's definitely something that you know, making it safer so that you can go through and run through those scenarios multiple times where you're not having to, you know, have other interactions or have anyone else be involved in it as you're going through it, is something that you want to enable so that you have as much, you know, confidence and, you know, trust in your knowledge of how to handle experience when you come to it in real life, because you really have had that feeling of I've been here, because you're feeling yourself go through it as you process, you know, in the training.
Have they provided you any of that small sampling? Did they go, dude, just like that pilot? Did they say, man, Craig, I felt the no shoot? I mean, I felt it. I mean, was there?
No, absolutely. That is something that we have definitely, you know, gotten some constant feedback on over the years, and we've been thrilled about, is that, you know, through the multiple force system, right, the exotendant, the vibration, the kind of full setup that we're doing today, it has truly been like, you know, not for every single interaction that's ever under the sun, right? But like for the ones that, you know, we've kind of been able to tailor properly, like those switches on the airport side, or, you know, picking up the trigger and giving the pullback from that side, or I'll sum it with the quote from Margaret Merkel, who's the Sims Innovations, you know, Chief Innovation Officer of the Sims Innovation team over at the U.S. Air Force group, where she said, you know, we've 100% convincingly simulated the sense of touch for AR and VR. So I mean, it's definitely something where I think also one of the things the haptics industry, you know, oversells at times, right? It's one of the like biggest things that like because it's, if you're, you know, vaporware is a thing in our space. If you're not there doing it, it's hard to. That's an easy thing to just say, right?
Right,
you know,
right. Yeah, it's
like,
not just,
coming on trying it.
Yeah, it's not just like vibrating something. You go, there you go. There's haptics. You know, you're not. You know what I mean?
Which vibration is a haptic form for certain
Correct.
things, right? Like,
correct.
Yeah, and I don't mean to, but yes, it's it does need to become a lot more nuanced than that, and that's like where, you know, trying to, well, we deem it multi-force ergonomics because it's, you know, it needs to fit into both your human factors and that multiple data sets.
That's a good, and you're right when you said that. There's a question that popped in. What if the glove was turned into a whole suit, operating a bot halfway around the planet or in other planets scientifically? I mean, that right there, that's like, I don't want to say that's like SpaceX, Elon Musk type of stuff, but, you know.
I mean, in a way, that's some of the stuff that Tesla's AI Day, last month, they were showing, you know, their evolution of the avatar bot, right? You know, X Prize, you know, which is one of the things that originally bore SpaceX as a thing. They've got their avatar prize, and the finals are in Long Beach later this month, showing some of like the, you know, it's one of the, trying to kick off literally that telepresence, you know, trying to control the robot side of it. We've had a number of, you know, conversations, partnerships with different teams that are working through that. We are not ourselves focused on the full suit just because of how much detail and nuance there are in the 27 degrees of freedom and 15 data points that your fingertip are kind of able to interact with. There are others out there that are working more on a suit. You know, one that's, you know, interesting to look up is, it's actually called Tesla Suit. It's not, no affiliation to Tesla. There's just a startup that has that name.
Well, we're broadcasting on Twitter, so, you know, he might be listening in and say, hey, wait a minute.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to out you, but it's been your name for a while.
That's right. Just stick to your guns there, Craig. Stick to your guns. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, the suit will definitely be a part of the everyday life at some point, you know, in at least our children's lifetime. You know, I think sooner than that for sure. And the hand control on the robotic side will be absolutely within our lifetimes, you know, very, you know, much sooner than I think most people would realize.
Now, it's just a matter of the sensor feeling too, is right. I mean, you like you just said, there's sensors for, You said 16 different sensor points on a fingertip. Is that how much?
So at your fingertip itself, when you're interacting with a real world object, you're going to be having at least 15 data points that it's picking up. And that's thinking about like the friction that the object is outputting, how much, speed or force you're going to be coming in with it at. That's going to be like what the stiffness of the object itself is, like how much robustness or give that it have. Like think about like if I'm picking up a bottle of Coke, right, is that object going to have give on its own side? Like what kind of physics properties does its materials have on its back end, if you will? And then you're going to have like, the roughness of the object, its rigid like surface as you're interacting from there. And kind of a couple different layers of points that come from that. One of you mentioned specifically sensors, and now like taking that onto how does it become simulated and, make all this kind of technology stack that we're talking about possible. I'll give another shout out to another company in the ecosystem that's interesting called SynTouch. They actually are a direct fingertip sensor pad for robotics, or on like that originally actually came out some amputee fingertip, sensor pad specifically. And they've got more than 10,000 data, 10,000 materials that they've run through their sensor, collecting, those 15 data points on it, saying like, with this texture, it has this level of softness, this level of like robustness to like how much force when you come in at it, all those kind of things we just laid through. And kind of as I think they're one of the leading edge right now is on like how does a robot actually mimic the amount of data captured by your skin right now. Because like one way to think about it is if you blew up your finger to the same size, think about how much data is being actually captured, is if you blew up your finger to the same size of, say, the globe and ran it across like another globe-sized object, you're going to be able to notice the difference between a car and a house. Like that's think about like a sand, getting stuck in there, and you feel that little grain.
Yep.
Like that's the amount of like detail that you're trying to eventually be able to get to the nuance that allows those things like the click of the force of the switch or the dial or the trigger, or anything from an EMT cutting the scissors on the shirt to then be able to then put the catheter in, or do things like what would be live field training from how can you make sure that you're going to be giving the proper procedure when you're out there and feeling it all properly.
Now, have you so from the inside look of the AR glasses or the headset, I mean, I'm just going to call them AR glasses, the augmented reality glasses, are they can you I mean, is it like, are they real images, or are they computer rendered images? Are they photorealistic? Like I said, like when the pilot from the MC-12 said that he felt like he was in the cockpit, what did it look like inside? That's
a great question. I mean, a lot of that does come back to, if you will, the nuanced capabilities of the fidelity of the display itself at the time, right? But also the decisions that are made from when you're building that content in Unity and Unreal on what you want to be making the output of that look like, right? So there are some of the cockpits that we've worked on. They've got highly photorealistic to the point that even like the screw has the part number included in like the texture that's mapped onto it. Nice. That's stuff that like we added our stuff to from a different work, not stuff that we didn't build it out to that level of detail. But with using a headset like Vario, which has like a high level of fidelity, like one of the closer to human real eye displays that's out there as a headset, you could see it to that level of detail.
Wow, that's awesome.
And like the headset that was in that photo specifically, the Quest, it's more of a scaled down version of that exact same model, but it's still a photorealistic version of the cockpit. It's just not as like directly sharp in every single detail. You might not be able to make out all the LED blips that are inside of the screens that are inside of the cockpit itself.
Right.
But again, it just really kind of just if you're using some of the like AR glasses, like say like a HoloLens, or even like having the pass through for using that mixed reality side of like a Quest and things, you're not going to get like you can make out every single blade of grass,
right.
Like things that are like you are getting to the point where you're now able to read what's being displayed on. Correct. You can see fine print and like get an interaction down on a 3mm size dial where you can actually, tell that difference is happening.
And you can feel the click, like you said, you can feel that little click, 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 click of each,
Yeah,
of each one. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, considering that if in the future you do decide to do a bodysuit or something like that, isn't that thing heavy already? Because I noticed the unit itself has a little bit of it has a battery to it. And I'll bring the image up back of the individual. He's got two on, and it looks like, what is that, a battery pack and a remote or something like that, or some sort of sensor remote to
so absolutely. So we talked about the second term in our phrase is ergonomic, being that the glove itself, we've actually really tried to design the whole thing to be as lightweight as possible. We believe that's been one of like the fault paths of most haptics in the whole, is getting too focused on what is the amount of force we can output and not what does it feel like on the wearer's hand. Like wear and tear does it give them to the restricting their movement mobility. And so actually right now, this Maestro, these ones that are out, that you're seeing the pictures of as well, they're less than a pound, device, and all of that weight is center massed on your forearm, your ulnar bone back here, so that, you're not actually, when you're putting it on at first, you're like, okay, there's a little bit of weight to this, in the same way that you're like, when you pick up your phone, you're like, okay, there's a little bit of weight to this, but like, as you're interacting, that melts away from your, really being there, because the glove itself is just a glove. There's, like all of our tendons and everything are routed through here, but difference than many that are out there, there are exoskeletons that are, kind of have a weight on the back of your palm in itself there. All of that battery pack and all of that like electronics and the basically your forearm muscles being turned into an electrical system. That is, again, just weighted on the back of your forearm instead of putting the weight on the back of your hand, where if you put your hand on your phone in there and you feel just how little weight there, makes it not natural to move about.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just thinking about it, to start off with a glove, and then you're going to move to a sleeve, and then you're going to move to a shirt, and then you're going to move to, trousers. And then at that point, hopefully, what was that movie with Tom Cruise where he's running around in exoskeletons and
live, die, repeat.
Yeah, did live, die, repeat. Yeah,
absolutely.
And to where now all you're doing is plugging in. By that point,
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, that's very much something that we see in the future roadmap of what these types of haptics can enable is, whether it's like James Cameron's Avatar or Tom Cruise's Minority Report AR interfaces, or it's the AR interface that you're seeing through Iron Man's eyes as well, but definitely the being able to jump in, control the exoskeleton that's right there in front of you or across the globe, and going from that standpoint, that's absolutely what we mean by extending the hand sense of touch. That's definitely in the realm of a very near possibility.
That's incredible, man. That's unreal.
Feel the unreal. That's what we want you to do.
You want to feel exactly. Feel the unreal. What about the now have you poked around? I mean, I know sometimes you can't talk about specific, contracting or something like that, but have you poked around the Defense Department aside from the that system right there with the MC-12? Have you looked into, hey, Fort Bragg, hey, Fort Benning here, to drive tanks and all that? Have you guys thought the same?
No, absolutely, Ken. That's a fantastic question. We're working on something right now that by the end of the year would allow us to be doing so. Basically, I guess a contracting vehicle that allows us to now extend and start using the gloves outside of the Air Force as well. And so it's definitely something we'll hopefully be talking with some people at ITSEC to finalize on and get some of that in place to move forward with. It's absolutely like a big thing that I want to be pushing on in 2023 is taking it not just for, as an airman specific, but across Department of Defense as a whole, and how do we enable everyone to get the benefits of having their hands-on felt in spatial computing.
Now and what about normal work? I mean, have you? I know there's a lot. I know that we're lifting or the restrictions or a lot of the lessons learned from the pandemic and the lockdowns. I mean, is this something where somebody could go to work and, like you said, you tapped into the metaverse, right? I mean, you guys were using the metaverse for a lot of your testing already, did you not?
No, definitely. So, I mean, in terms of like VR content,
Right,
you know,
right.
We would, you know, consumer wise, we do, you know, hope to be enabling that more in the future. It's not, you know, simulation training, you know, we're not just focused it on the defense side though.
Gotcha.
We, you know, like there's, let's say from manufacturing line safety training to some of the like integrated indoor farming, you know, their hands-on training to how do you actually do the harvesting, to how do you do things like in the longest term, you know, a mechanic be able to, you know, log in from their home in Cincinnati, Ohio, putting on their hands and gloves and be able to, you know, control a robot in a San Diego lot, you know, if that's something that, you know, becomes long-term available. But, you know, right now, the Quest Pro or like the new lineup of things that are, you know, coming from, you know, Meta specifically is looking at, okay, how are you doing your design work? How are you doing things like collaborating during a meeting? How are you doing things like, you know, being in a music jam session together where you're, you know, across the world and having that be able to interact as your normal everyday work, whether that's like plotting a strategy for a brand, or whether that's like plotting an actual mission need strategy and being able to move the pieces on the board, if you will, like you're, you know, around your, you know, boardroom table together. That's definitely stuff that we're working on being able to enable. It's the majority of our end users that we've found it's most beneficial for our simulation training today. But long term, you know, any true use of your hand that is beneficial in spatial computing, we feel the multi-force ergonomic haptics are going to be necessary for making that possible.
Right. It was from an original telesensation that I was researching that myself when I was back in the AR stuff, doing it back in the day, and it was Nobuyushi Terashima talked about that telesensation and the concept back in 2002, and here we are, 2022, and we're this is it. I mean, this is the.
It's a real deal now.
Yeah. It's now no longer a thesis or a theory or a possibility of it. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's another thing too. How is it for I guess you would say for the environment? You know, I know I'm not trying to sound like a tree hugger or something like that, but is it ecologically sound for the type of equipment? Is it low on the footprint as far as battery use or the type of manufacture for batteries? Or
yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, it definitely, you know, still has the same impact of like, you know, the headsets coming into the world and having, you know, like, and there are, you know, their batteries do need to be produced and, you know, and used within it as a whole as any type of wearable technology. But it's, like you said, in terms of relative footprint impact, it's not something that, you know, currently we, you know, see or found any reason to be concerned.
How long is the battery life? Like, for instance, once you get it all charged up and it's working the way within its specific parameters, how, you know, once you're game on, like, for instance, how long was that MC-12 pilot was able to take off and start the aircraft up, or how long was the battery life?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll give you one piece of example. Consumer Electronics Show, when I was there this year giving demos, you know, that's people getting in and out of the gloves all day, 100 people in a day kind of scenario, right? And from start of the show in the morning to start of show at night, I didn't have to plug the gloves in or swap battery at all. It was, you know, able to just be using the same glove throughout the entire time, or, you know, depending on the size of the individuals going into the demo for that specific one. That's, you know, thinking about in terms of you're getting in, you're doing, you know, your 20-30 minute individual experience, turn the glove off for a second, handing it to the next person who's getting in for the 20-30 minute experience, you know, handing it to the next person, going from there, as you go forward. If you have the glove on, you know, interacting full restriction at, you know, full amount of energy draw and force at all times, you're going to get about 2 hours of full battery time, you know, basically just running the engine, if you will. Like, if you just put a brick down on your pedal and just let it sit there running, that would be how that would happen. But, you know, so far, you know, you can get 4 to 5 hours of kind of direct training time, you know, per charge.
I think that's the key thing with what everybody's been everyone's been talking about specifically, because like, for instance, I got a picture up right now of augmented reality and VR surgery happening, and I was just curious. Most surgeries, you know, they you know, that you always hear about. Oh, that was that doctor, that surgeon was in the operator room for 6-7 hours, and I was just curious how, you know, how, just specifically on that aspect as well, and due to the fact that these will be critical. Specifically, I don't know if when you guys do get in the future and you're having a pilot, you know, flying his aircraft, flying his whatever F-30 something, because, you know, who knows by in the future what the aircraft's going to be, and then
we're going to call it the F-39, I think.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the F-39. We'll go with that one. So they're flying the quote F-39, and Tom Cruise, when he does Maverick 10, you know, he's going to be wearing all this stuff, and then battery's out, you know, and then you know.
Boom, power down. Yeah,
you gotta power down.
I think there's a scene in like Guardians of the Galaxy where like you know they're flying, they're casting that literally happens, right? One of the characters did that. You know, that would be a nightmare scenario. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm sure that, you know, because we have had some, you know, plugged into the wall solutions in our R&D for just being able to power, you know, without having to think about the power source on a battery.
Right.
I think if there's a mission critical thing that is, you know, gonna have that side, we'll maybe have them plugged into the wall in some sort of way, or tapped into a hot swappable battery by that time.
Yeah. That's awesome. Now you guys just won an award too. You guys won the Enterprise Solution of the Year for VR Scout. Is it, or from a trade show?
So I appreciate it. Not yet. We're one of the finalist nominees. So
finalists. Okay.
Yeah. December 1st will be the night. So the Academy of International Awards. We're pretty honored by it, in that, you know, it truly has been, if you will, the Emmys of the VR space.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I know who they are. Yeah.
Weird to say, you know.
I know who they are.
But the hardware and the integration that we did with the Air Force have both been, you know, nominated as finalists in that.
So you're finalists. You know, now I'm going to tell the audience. Matter of fact, I don't have to tell the audience. I'll throw the image up. Yeah, I'll throw their. You guys are the Contact CI. It has the haptic integration, lightweight VR training simulators enabling high fidelity and physics-based effects within the training simulator. So that
in the category, I also want to shout out Dynepic there. They're the Motar ecosystem is they're trying to become they become a program of record inside the Air Force, working with Det 23 and AATC on how do we become the full digital schoolhouse for all training that can scale across the whole department as a whole.
That's awesome.
And so, rather than everyone being fragmented in say Fort Hood has this specific training, Fort Myer has this one here, but everyone can kind of log into, if you will, the Motar platform and go through from there. So we've enjoyed partnership with them.
Yeah, some of the work that I was involved with before I retired, where it was virtual training areas for cyber, and I thought I knew what was going on in that realm until I met a bunch of guys like you, a bunch of Craig Douglases just running around.
Oh, it's very kind.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm serious.
The team at Contact is way better than me.
Well, I'm telling you, I was impressed with working with the virtual training area and training scenarios and gaming, and I just thought it was incredible that this is, and of course, being a retired military guy, we're on sergeant's time. There's always going to be, I want our audience, especially the senior leaders out there, to want to get into this stuff, because there's applications from everything from just an instruction scenario, how to be an instructor, or how to be, or be on a firing range, or manipulating equipment, whether it be artillery pieces or heavy equipment for engineers, or commo, or I keep getting the EOD comments in there like crazy. Everyone, all the bomb disposal guys are in there, in the chats talking. And
I appreciate that.
Yeah. They
email me at Craig at contact.ci.
Well, we got your post tagged. So
I know. I was more than joking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, we got you. If people want to get a hold of you, they're going to be able to. But yeah, those are some of the things that I like to see is that, and of course, naturally.
I appreciate that, Ike, because it's definitely been a long journey of getting the innovative ecosystem of being able to do all the dual use technologies, working with things that have been developed from the gaming side of things, and
I can imagine.
But it's definitely been an exciting time with all the backing that's been coming recently, and so we're happy to be able to truly give mission need help by unlocking this technology for end uses that actually need it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm by no means am I wanting to be sitting here saying like everyone and every VR interaction or AR interaction needs a haptic glove. We really just believe that the ones that like actually need them. Well, why not? Because things like dribbling, it's you learning the skill set of dunking a basketball. You can only do it if you feel it. Other things, you don't necessarily need it.
Right, exactly. No, I hear you. Not everything has to. I wouldn't use that as a babysitting method either. For make sure that the robot's taking care of the little one in the other room or something like that. But I got I got the picture up right there of the March Madness you guys had earlier in the year, and you guys already had your little graphic there with the gloves. Is this what the wearer sees? I got the screen up. Does the wearer see a glove just like that? Is it emulated in the same way?
That's yes. So in that specific application, that's actually one of the more default avatar hands in Unreal. We were trying to show that you can use kind of almost what is the base level hand to be able to use the glove itself. There's depending on the application, we've made it a little bit more does the glove look like, say, a pilot's glove? Because like you want it to look like what the expectations of you're going to be glancing out of your own hand and seeing in terms of the peripheral point of view. But it really, again, it comes down to what like textures you want to put in the content. But yes, this is definitely a in-camera POV shot.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Craig, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. This has been a great chat, and I'm without getting the audience bored about the I could go on all night with this stuff.
We can definitely continue talking without the audience. I don't mind.
Exactly. This is fascinating stuff. Okay, so you how long has your company been around? I mean, it doesn't seem like you've been around that long.
Yeah, no. So we officially founded the company in 2015 when me and my other co-founders, graduated from Syracuse and started doing this as a full-time thing. 2017 is when we first then started shipping product outside of research from ourselves, started having the first patents and things roll in to make us comfortable to start doing so. But then 2019 is when we signed our SBIR phase 1 originally with the Air Force, and then went on with the phase 2 and such from 2020 and on. And so that's really one of the last 2 years have been a lot more ramping for us than before that. But we're a young but old early stage startup, if you will.
No. I hear you. I said I keep. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I just think it's incredible that the amount of work that you've done, the amount of tech that you've been involved with already is in such a short time. I mean, it just seems to me that you guys are getting at it, man. This is what I'm talking about. I like this.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I like to say that like our small team punches above our weight class. We're excited about what we're doing. We're dedicated to it, and it's really been a group of remarkable people to work with.
Well, Craig, thanks again so much for hanging out. And I tell you what, you guys are more than welcome to shoot the breeze. If there's any other stuff like applications, I know the audience specifically is mostly veteran and military, but you're able to bridge the other capabilities, and I just think it's incredible that this type of work. Can you buy these things for gaming? Like right now, can I go out and just buy a set of Maestro gloves and start, jumping on that Call of Duty?
Yes and no. We do sell them as like you can order through our sales pipeline as individuals. Unless you enable the game yourself to work through the SDK, there's not a lot of consumer games that are supported just because we haven't spent our time doing that. So that's why I'd say like technically we're not, I'm not going to encourage you to buy it because I think you're going to, it's going to sit on your shelf for gaming right now. In a couple of years, there will be a better model for that.
Yeah. I was about to say
that. But Ken, I appreciate the time. I'm excited to have talked about it. I'd be happy to, continue the conversation if,
of course,
in the future and, as other things. But, thanks for letting me just be able to chat about things with you and, great questions.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and take a break right now. And I'm going to put Craig back in the green room. And we're going to shoot the breeze, and we won't go over tech too much, but we'll be right back. Contact CI. Craig, thanks again for hanging out, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone, for your time and listening. It was a blast, Ice.
All right, man. Hey, guys, we're gonna take a break and refill your glasses, get a smoke break going. Smoke if you got them. See you. Shots. Stand by.
Take a look inside your life. Is it so bad? where you draw the line, 'cause it's so sad. Tell me where you lost your faith. Is it so bad? Couldn't see it in the face, and it's so sad. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down. While you keep it in your head, is it so bad? Never heard a word you say it, and it's so sad. Tell me when you lost your way, 'cause it's so bad. I'll see you when I pray, and it's so sad. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down. Is it what you want? Is it what you needed now? Is it what you breathe? Is it what you're feeling now? Is it what you feel? Is it what you're feeling now? Is it what you wanted? I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down. Hello, you. Will you come back down to me? Hello, you. Will you come back down? Hello, you. Won't you come back down to me? Hello, you.
There's a lot of tough talk on Twitter, but there's not a lot of real talk.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Yeah. You want some ganja? Oh, sorry, can't say that. This is Sergeant's time. DD-214 required for set activities. Oh, man. Anywho, let's see. Spanky coming up? She said she's coming up. So, anyways. Man, that was badass. That was cool as shit. I cannot believe all that tech that's going in there. Appreciate Contact CI letting Craig Douglas come in here and shoot the breeze with us. I could have talked. We were still blabbing. And I'm like, oh, I gotta take a break. But yeah, Pookie's out and about, man. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Spanky's coming back. Hang on. Let's see, she's right here. Blah, blah, blah. Pookie is out and about, man. Pookie's this is not a Friday show. So with that, let me tell you this. There's a possibility that Friday Night Freedom's going to happen tomorrow. And when that happens, then there'll be a Friday Night Freedom. So if you don't know when a Friday Night Freedom is, then don't worry about it, because if you see it come up, it's last minute. A lot of stuff changing, calendars moving, and we'll do Friday Night Freedom. But again, stand by. Right, Spanky?
I think I'm here.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
I think I made it back.
Yeah, I think you made it back. You sound good. Oh, man.
Because I'm just holding this up to my ear.
I was about to say, you sound, whoa. You sound,
I was very busy.
I know. I saw you back in there and doing some stuff, and and I saw you in the background working shit, so I didn't want to bother you. So.
And yes, I was very busy. I'm looking for some graphics.
Yeah. So, real quick, we're going to do, I guess I was just telling the audience that we may or may not do Friday Night Freedom, but stand by. If normally between 1600 or 4 p.m., between 3 and 5 Eastern Standard Time, we normally will post an announcement, a promo saying that we're going to be doing yada, yada, yada show for whatever show. So be patient. If it shows up, then, there'll be a show. If not, you're just going to have to, hang out, see what's up. I do know that we've been pretty busy and shit. See what's going on. What's going on? Hang on. Let me open this cut sheet, y'all, so we can break out the lemon pledge.
It's got to get the housekeeping supplies.
Yeah, we got to get the housekeeping supplies. We got to do this. Oh man, this is bright house. Shit, freaking God! I'm in a dark room and so. Hope you guys enjoyed the Halloween shows that we had on Monday and the Dia de los Muertos with freaking CQ. That was a fun show. I like that. That was a good show. You just heard from Craig Douglas, who's from Contact CI, talking about all the geeking stuff with multi-force haptics, ergonomics. I just like saying that.
That sounds like you like saying that. Yes. You can say it one more time.
Okay, fine. Multi-force haptics, ergonomics technology. Right. All right. Hi. A radio guy got pissed off at me because I imitated a radio guy, and he got mad because he says we don't sound like that. I'm like, yeah, yes you do. You sound like a radio guy, and he does definitely sound like a radio guy. Kansas City broadcasters are so sensitive, man. You can't talk about them, and they get so sensitive.
Oh no, they're the only broadcasters I will talk about now.
Yeah.
No, they find a new one every day.
Yeah, they're just like. We're just talking about stuff like that, and I just kind of like joked around. And we don't sound like that. I'm like, yeah, you do. Sound like you guys about ready to sell me a 1976 Plymouth Volare. He got pretty pissed off. So right now we're doing some shifting. Again, I was just telling the audience we may or may not have a show tomorrow, but if we do have a show, it's just going to be Friday Night Freedom with me and Pook. If not, then we might have had a guest. We're trying to figure that out. We'll more likely have a guest. Be pushed to Monday, and if it is that guest, then we'll let you know as well. It'll be on Monday, so we move from tomorrow because again, I don't know. We're gonna do the shows.
You got to be flexible.
Yeah, exactly. Bacon Hitter, I love KC-Mo, bro. Man, you know how individuals lose their heart in some places? Yeah, I lost my heart in KC-Mo. So there you go. That's why I'm so angry. That's why I'm bitter. That's why now I know why Anakin Skywalker did what he did. Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. And the next thing you know, what was I going to say? Oh, so Carl Whalens might be coming on. And once we get that lockdown, he might be on Monday. And if that's the case, then, he's back to the Heroes Rumble. He's always coming on here anyways to shoot the breeze about what he has going on. So that's pretty cool. And then Renford Langen and Christian Brunetti's coming back. Man, here we're bringing Soft back in the house. He's a retired Special Forces Green Beret. And of course, also PSYOP veteran Chris Brunetti, who's been in several Marvel flicks. And he was in The Walking Dead. There's a recent episode of The Walking Dead too. So, which I'm surprised that show. Remember me and you used to do Walking Dead? Yeah, me and you used to do Walking Dead roundups and stuff like that. And
yes, and you know what? It's about to be over. Like this is the last season,
right?
I'm going to go back and finish it.
I'm gonna start. Well, the last time we talked about The Walking Dead, when you and I had our Walking Dead updates, it was, I think, after the governor beheaded the old man.
Herschel,
yeah, and me and you were like all butthurt and upset because Herschel's gone, right? And
right.
And so then after that, it just got really, our schedules and everything got wonky, and so I think we're gonna have to watch it from there. We're gonna have to.
I'm gonna go back to the beginning. I think I'm gonna do that this winter because, like I said, I'm gonna have a little time in the winter, and I'm like, on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm not gonna want to go play outside, so I think I will finally watch it. I know when I literally, I can't watch this anymore. So I know when I hit that point.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it was when Negan came, and I still watched it then. I think they fucked up his entrance.
Yes, that's because you and I remember being you, and I told you that one time, man, I can't wait to be on camera because we could do side by side comics of the film. Because because I had friends of mine that were in the business that were getting so mad at me because why are you trashing what I'm doing? I'm not trashing what you're doing, man. I'm just telling you that the comics and the Walking Dead TV show is just totally different. So
yeah, it totally is. And I have not even read the comics. I know a lot of the things that happen in them. Like, you know what? Because I hate cliffhanger endings, period.
Right.
And I think it would have been brilliant instead of ending it when they did, before he just beat them to death, is him just walking out in the trailer with that first line.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Negan.
Yeah.
In the season right there. It'd have been perfect. And people might have been angry that, they just left it right there. We want to know. But I still think it would have been like a million times better than
if they because
halfway through that scene and then make you wait.
Yeah, exactly. Because matter of fact, I think you and I talked about that.
Yes.
You and
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, we're pissed off due to the fact that Negan walked out and he freaking,
rambled for 10
minutes. And I'm like, oh, and then all of a sudden, bam, he hits Glenn. I'm like, what the hell? And then and then me and you, and then we were like,
but you didn't know who he hit.
Right. And
we knew it was Glenn, but we didn't know. And I'm just like, that's not a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we should have him
piss off your entire audience.
If you had just had Negan just walk out and did what made his little entrance, and then that
little cocky, hi, I'm Negan.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
That would have been it. Yeah, that would have ended it, and then the next season would have been continuing that, and then him killing Glenn and Abraham.
Right. I wouldn't have been mad listening to a 10-minute Negan rant
right.
if I get what happens right then.
Right, exactly.
I still don't think he needed to fucking kill Abraham too, but
yeah. Well, Abraham's I liked his character. I like Abraham's character.
Yeah, that's what I said. They didn't need to kill him.
Yeah. So it's freaking hilarious that. Anyways, so on that note, saying we go on a rants. Chris Bernetti is going to be on because he has been on The Walking Dead. And so we are going to have those two individuals show up and discuss. Again, always looking forward to. And again, there's a lot of changes due to the season and work schedules. There might be some guests that will or will not come on Friday that will end up being shifted to either Monday or Thursday or Tuesday. And that's only because Kaz is, he's got real life stuff going on and Kaz's work is is incredible. I think Kaz should have, if he was listening to Night Show, or actually he listens to, he listens to the show the next day. So I think once he sees what's going on, you're gonna be like, oh wow, this is pretty cool.
Right.
But
he might be listening right now.
Yeah,
you never know.
You never know how Kaz is. Kaz will just pop in another. He'll just say, "Hey, good job, great show."
Sure there's no Kaz.
Yeah,
where were you, Kaz?
Where are you, Kaz? He's gonna be like, "Where were you?" Spanking nice. Right. So again, with the Friday schedule is going due to seasonal reasons. You know what? I was kind of thinking about that too. Wait a minute. The season of Friday Night Freedom. You know how They have seasons, Si. The last episode of Friday Night Freedom, the cliffhanger. So we're just talking about cliffhangers. Kaz had a cliffhanger. So I guess we have cliffhangers now.
Right?
Yeah. Damn it.
We got to make sure they don't suck.
Yeah. Usually we don't. I think all of our shows have been pretty good.
Our shows are good. I just need to make sure none of our cliffhangers suck.
Yeah, exactly. We got to be specific and not leave anything just hanging out there. Just not any drama. Again, I will. We'll keep it posted. If you guys see some promos coming up of a show or a no show, then then there you go. Then that's your answer for Friday Night Freedom. We broadcast again live on 5 different platforms, 2 Facebook pages, WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, and then Twitch, which is a gaming streaming platform. I know we have some guys in the audience. We're like, what's Twitch? That's where the gamers go on.
Don't worry about it, old man.
Yeah. Just go to your kids. If you have if you have youngins, they know what Twitch is. As soon as I told my oldest, hey, I'm on Twitch, and then my middle one, hey, I'm on Twitch. Oh, cool. And they're like, well, I guess okay. I guess it's cool. And of course the YouTubes. You can get on YouTube and all that. YouTube's been kind of a little wonky lately due to the fact that they don't like. We get permission from a lot of the artists that get in, and some of our guests to play some of their stuff, and they're kind of like they're mean. They're still mad at Kaz for talking about COVID way back in the day. Yeah, they're like pissed. They're like, request denied. Yeah, he was referring to the news of your one of your organizations. It was like, I think it was like CNBC. It was a normal, he was just going over it like that. So maybe I'll rant tomorrow then if I'm on, because there's a lot of COVID stuff that's just happening that I'm just like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, what else we got? I think that's it. Yeah, follow us on our socials.
Put the lemon pledge back in the cabinet.
Put it back in there. The next one we're gonna have, he might either be Friday or Monday. Will be Chris Whitmore, U.S. MC veteran. Will be hanging out with one of us, either be Kaz Pooks or myself and a shipwreck to talk about Terror to Triumph. Terror to Triumph is about Chris's struggles returning home from combat, family struggles, and getting medically retired, and the struggles of getting out and being lost. And man, me and you have talked about that stuff. So,
oh yeah.
But anyways, possible future shows that we're going to be having. Somebody asked. Yes, there is. Right now we're in the process of standing up another show. Thank God. Actually, 2 shows. God, man, my mind's gone. One show that's going to be all like sports, ESPN, sports paging stuff, sports books, sports bar. And
maybe some hockey.
Maybe some, whatever. Yeah.
That's a sports ball.
Whatever. Yeah. Sports bar and championship puck games. And then, and then we're going to have a smoke pit show where the rubber meets the road. It's almost going to be like from the people who brought you Sergeant's Time. It's going to be like, instead of bunch of old crusty retired NCOs like myself and Spanky, it's gonna be the Joes. It's gonna be what's talked in the motor pool. It's gonna be what's in the at the smoke pit, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that.
What they talk about behind our backs.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, what are you guys talking about? So it's gonna be pretty cool. So it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be like the squad leader level version of Sergeant's Time, but it's not going to be called Sergeant's Time. And then there's Sergeant's Time. So it will be Monday is going to be the Monday edition, and then Tuesday is going to be Pop Culture Warrior. Wednesday is going to be, I don't know, I think the name, there's a working title right now, but I don't want to reveal it right now. I think, yeah, did we already announce it? Because we did, then it's already too late. I guess we're going to.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Thursday, Sergeant's Time, Friday Night Freedom, of course, and then the sports bar will be on Sunday. So that's going to be interesting. So that way we can place your bets and shit talk and talk about Tom Brady and his unfortunate events.
Who can throw the ball the farthest? Those kinds of things.
Those types of, who could do the yeet. Oh man. Anyways, so we'll be again, we're looking forward to some of the stuff that's happening. It's just been busy, man. It's just been busy.
Totally busy.
Do you got anything for me, Spanky, before we take off?
I do not. Just sweet dreams, everybody. And I've missed y'all.
Yeah, exactly. And not to mention the fact that we also, we got some other events we're planning, some collaborations and collaborative events. I can't wait. You're hoping for Blue Falcon Friday. You know, me and Spanky talked about that, and this one thing this guy's piggybacking off of me, right? You know, he's gonna keep talking. Josh, you know, we talked about Mill Twitter Mondays, which was getting all the famous Mill Twitter individuals who just rant and complain about the Army and like to shit talk about everything and how life just fucking sucks. Mill Twitter Mondays, I guess we would call it. And then what was the other one? Screenshot Madness on Thursdays. We used to do that, but you know, we've got guests, so we'll probably do another Screenshot Madness next week.
I'm sure we can pick up a Screenshot Madness any day of the week if we needed to. There's
actually, we could just say that. Screenshot Madness, all right. Screenshot Madness in it. I'm sorry, I'm making fun of this guy, man. I'm not mad, but he was just like, you know, we really sound like that. I'm like, yeah, actually you do. Yeah. You know, well, hey, you guys sound like you're going to sell me a car. I can do the voice too. Anybody can do that voice, but do you have a personality? Oh, I don't know. Do you have a personality? Well, then, you know, fisticuffs almost happen. So
no fighting without me.
Oh man, exactly. Ready to fight tonight. Yarg. So anywho, we'll be tuning in. There's some updates on the last thing I told you guys I would give you an update on the Staff Sergeant Michael A. Dixon mock-up, and there's going to be some updates that I'm getting from the organization. So stay tuned for that. And you know, again, we're always going to give you guys the deets and all that. I also want to shout out to the Ghost Army. The Ghost Army has been inducted into the Psychological Operations Regiment and honorary members of the members of the psychological. I'll get the deets up and post it on there, which is I think is pretty cool. I think that's it. I think we're done. So
everybody, take your parting shots.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone get your shots, and you know, again, we'll see you possibly tomorrow. Probably not. We'll know, but whatever. I think if I am gonna do the show tomorrow, I'm gonna drink. I'm going to be of inebriationists.
Yes, gonna Friday Night Freedom.
It's Friday Night Freedom, man. We're gonna be man. I'm gonna do some shit talking. If that's happening, I'm gonna be there's gonna be some shit talking. I'm gonna shit talking mostly about. I'm gonna shit talk about probably Elon Musk's shit. What's going on with them, and then talking about this fucking pandemic amnesty that people are talking about. So
okay, it's gonna cost you $8.
Yeah, exactly. Cost me $8. Oh yeah, that's gonna be part of it too. So y'all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Shots and see you. Bye bye.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Сьогодні ти знову написала, що тобі страшно. І я знову попрошу. Ні. Сьогодні я накажу відставити боятись. Погладь за мене бармале і спокійно лягай спати. До речі, як там Урусі в школі? Скажи тату берегти серце і обійняти маму. І взагалі, давайте усміхатися. Вашій силі краса. Допомагайте один одному і виручайте. Цілуйте любимих. Святкуйте свою свободу. Ви за нашими спинами, ось такі теж надійні, не ховаєтеся, прикриваєте нас із тилу. Зробіть так, щоб ми пишалися вами. І ми повернемось. Повернемось і будемо жити.